in stillness for a couple of minutes in a still, I guess, supported restorative yoga posture for the first couple of minutes this afternoon. I'm going to demonstrate just a few ways that you can create this support underneath you. So if you have a bolster or a rolled up blanket or some pillows, something in that long kind of chunky shape, you might want to arrange it kind of lengthways down the mat, so like this, or it could be like a stack of pillows, your blanket, yeah, something that looks like this. So you might want to, if you have a bolster, elevate the top end where your head's going to be with a chunky book or a yoga prop. You might want to put a cushion or something at the very bottom end, just to make the posture a little bit less intense on the lower back, to support the lower back. So you might want a little cushion at the bottom end. So that's one way that we can arrange our support. You can instead, if you have something like this, so a yoga brick, you can have that where your shoulder blades are going to be, so kind of lengthways across like that. And that could be, doesn't have to be a yoga prop, it could be a thicker cushion or a thicker item of support. And then just like a few inches just above that item, having something a little bit thinner. So it could be, if you're using yoga props, it could be one of the thinner blocks, or it could be a thinner cushion. And just placing that where the head's going to be. So if you have these couple of items, you're going to place the shoulder blades over the thicker item, have that just supporting across the shoulder blades, and then just release the back of the head down onto the thinner item, and then just let the arms just flop out in a way that feels good. If you have your bolster or your kind of long sausage shaped item of support, then you're bringing your lower back up against the bottom end. You might be sat on a cushion, and then you're just draping your back over that item, and then again having the arms out for support. You don't want to feel like your throat is really open, the back of the neck is compressed. So if that's the case, maybe bringing an extra cushion or something just underneath the head. Basically what you want to end up feeling is that sense of openness across the chest, across the heart, slight stretch, very subtle upper back bend, but nothing that feels like it's crunching in your lower back. It shouldn't feel like a strain. You want to be able to completely let go into the posture. So yeah, you might want to faff around a bit. We'll be here for a couple of minutes before we start to move. Just make sure you're super comfy. Hi Livy, welcome. And then just really spending some time arriving on your mats. Hi Regina. So just take some deep breaths. See if you can think about arriving mentally as well as physically. Welcome Regina and Olivia. I'm just going to explain to you what we're doing briefly. So we're coming into a very subtle, supported back bend. So if you have a yoga bolster, bringing that lengthways on the mat, maybe propping up the top end with something, just to give it a little bit of height. Don't worry if you don't have one, you can maybe roll up a blanket to replicate one. Bringing a little cushion maybe at the base of the bolster, so you've got a bit of support for your lower back. Bringing the lower back to the edge of the bottom part of the bolster, and then just lying over the bolster to have that nice supported, subtle back bend. If you don't have a bolster, don't worry. You can bring a thicker item, either a yoga brick or a thicker cushion on the mat where your shoulder blades are going to be, and then a slightly thinner item, so a thinner block or a thinner cushion just above it where the back of the head will be. Bringing the shoulder blades over the thicker item, so having a bit more height there, and then just letting the back of the head release down onto the thinner item. So we're just creating a really subtle, soft opening across the heart, very subtle back bend. And then just, again, just wriggling around as much as you need to. If there's anything that you can do just to make yourselves, 5% even more comfortable, then do so. We'll be here another minute or so. see if with each exhale now, you can just let go of something. So maybe just letting go of your day. You might want to take some exhales out of your mouth. Making a sound. This can feel quite nice sometimes. Can sometimes help us to release a little bit deeper. When you're inhaling, just make these inhales really conscious. Notice where your breath arrives in the body. Sensations of the breath. Breathe in until you're completely full. And again, just using that exhale, just to let go. Just release anything that's been bothering you today, anything in the past. Using that breath to release anything in the future, anything that your mind is jumping to. Slowing down, deepening the breath. Maybe making your exhales a little bit longer than your inhales. Bringing your attention to the very center of your chest. Maintaining that nice deep breath that you've cultivated. See if you can concentrate your breath a little bit more into this space. We're breathing into your energetic heart space. Feel the front of the chest, the sides of the chest, that space underneath your armpits and the back of the chest. You might feel shoulder blades pushing into the support underneath you. Feel that expansion as you inhale around that space. And then as you exhale, really feel that contraction, softening inwards, like 360-degree breath. And you might even imagine a bright, beautiful bright light at the very center of your chest. And perhaps with each inhale you visualize that becoming brighter, expanding outwards a little bit more. So the heart chakra, Anahata, it's associated with unconditional love, compassion, forgiveness, our ability to let love in, and our ability to let love out. All aspects that we're really trying to hone into today with our practice. Take another deep breath here. Make this a really big one and make your exhale really complete. And then just thinking about making our way out of the posture. So maybe bending up the legs, bringing the soles of the feet to the ground, and then carefully rolling over onto one side, any side. And then slowly, carefully, absolutely no rush, carefully making your way up to a comfortable seat. I'm coming to Sukhasana, cross-legged seat. If you feel like your knees are super high and your back is rounded and it's a bit of a struggle to stay upright, maybe bring something underneath you to sit on, like a cushion or a block. And then bringing the hands onto the knees. As you inhale, root the sitting bones down, lift the crown of the head, find length in the spine. Exhale, just let the shoulders melt away from the ears, let the arms be heavy, shoulder blades nice and wide and soft. And you might want to close the eyes down or keep them open if you prefer, with a soft gaze. Keeping our attention at the very centre of our chest. We're just going to begin to lead our movement from this spot. As we inhale, we're going to circle the heart forwards, doesn't matter which direction. Just going with what feels good for you. Exhale, circling back. Moving with your breath. Inhale, circling forwards. And exhale, circling back. Just continuing to move in this way. Just allow your movement to follow your breath. Keep breathing that same deep breath. Inhale until you can't inhale anymore. Exhale until you're completely empty. Regina, you still look like you're laid down. Oh no, I don't know if she can hear me. And then maybe beginning to make your circles a little bit bigger. Exaggerating the movement slightly, if that feels good. So you might want to, as you exhale, round the spine, let the shoulder blades part. Drop the chin slightly. As you inhale, circling forwards, you might roll the shoulders back, squeeze shoulder blades in. Really send the heart forward, maybe lifting the chin slightly. Just getting a little bit more of your body involved. And then at the end of your next exhale, just pause for a moment. And then inhale, circling forwards in the other direction. Exhale, circling back. Just continuing to allow your movement to follow your breath. Really big, expansive breath. And just moving in a way that follows that big, expansive breath. And then over the course of the next few breaths, I'm just going to very gradually begin to wind your circles back in. You're just making them very gradually, incrementally smaller. Same deep breath. Just notice when the mind wanders, bring it back to the movement, back to the breath. So another 4 or so circles. Make each circle gradually smaller, gradually smaller. And then on your next inhale, root the sitting bones down, come to stillness, lift the crown of the hair, grow taller. Exhale fully, let it go. And just bring the fingertips either side of you on the ground. As you inhale, reach the left fingertips up, lengthen the left side of the body, lengthen the left arm. As you exhale, reaching up and over to the right, coming into your side bend. Grounding both sitting bones evenly into the ground. Really extend that left arm, reaching dynamically through the fingertips. Opening that left side, and send your breath, begin to direct your breath now, breathing into that space between the left side ribs. Same deep breath. Just going to send Regina a quick WhatsApp while you guys are in this, because hopefully she'll hear that, though imagine she might have a phone off. One more deep inhale into your side ribs. And then without changing much, as you exhale, just beginning to reach the left fingertips over to the left side of the room now. At the end of that exhale, really let the head and neck go. Let the head be super heavy. So hopefully you'll feel a nice deep stretch across the left side of the neck. And then you might want to play around with the sensations in the neck. So maybe think about reaching the fingertips forwards in space, slightly back in space, up and down. Try and reach a bit further with the fingertips, maybe turning the palm of the hand up towards the ceiling slowly, and then turning the palm to face back down slowly. And just noticing any sensations that come up along the side of the neck, into the arm, the shoulder. Sending the breath there. One more breath. As you inhale, press that right hand down, come back to tall neutral spine. Exhale here, bring the fingertips down either side of you. Relax shoulders away from the ears. As you inhale, reach the right fingertips up towards the ceiling, lengthen the right side. Exhale, reaching up and over towards the left, coming into your side bend. Just make sure you're not hunching your shoulders up towards the ears, just soften them away. Neck is nice and long and spacious. And then rooting evenly down through both sitting bones. Directing your breath, sending your breath into your right side, really lengthening your right arm. For that sense of slightly sending your heart slightly forwards and up, so you have that real openness across the chest. One more deep inhale. And then again, without changing much, as you exhale, reaching the right fingertips now over towards the right side, lengthen the arm. At the end of the exhale, just let the head go. Let that left ear melt down towards the left shoulder and really relax the shoulder away from the ear. And again, optional, you might want to keep that right hand in stillness. You might want to experiment with lifting the fingertips up and then down. Reaching them slightly back in space, slightly forwards, maybe turning the palm to face up slowly. And then turning the palm to face down. Just really getting into any tight spots in the shoulder, in the neck. One more breath here. And then inhale, press that left hand down, come up to a tall spine. Creep the fingertips behind you now. So you have that slight external rotation of the arms, fingertips point back in space, and you're leaning slightly back into the fingertips. And then as you inhale, press fingertips, press sitting bones down, lift the heart, maybe lift the face, if that feels natural to you, lift the face towards the ceiling, squeeze the shoulder blades in towards each other. Exhale, stay in the posture, but just soften a little bit, release any effort. Couple more breaths here, inhaling into your heart space, lifting the heart, squeeze shoulder blades in. Exhale, softening, but maintain the posture. One more like that, deep inhale. Full exhale. And then as you inhale, just begin to walk the hands back to neutral, back just beside you. And then just bringing one shin in front of the other, quite possibly you're in that posture anyway. One shin in front of the other, doesn't matter which one. And you're aiming to align the shins with the front edge of your mat. You're walking the feet away from each other, so you're aiming to line up the soles of the feet with the kind of tips of the knees. It doesn't matter if they don't go that far, it's just that's the direction that they're going. And then curl the toes in towards each other, press the outer edges of the feet into the ground. So you have that support, that active lower body. Fingertips on the ground beside you. Inhale, lengthen the spine, crown of head. And then as you exhale, keeping the shoulders away from the ears, like, again, leading with the heart, just maybe beginning to hinge forwards and down over the legs. Don't have to come forwards and down if it feels like it's a bit much. You can stay upright if you prefer. And then you should get to a point where you just feel that resistance in the hips, that slight opening. Optional, you might want to bring the fingertips in front of you, or the hands in front of you. Might want to keep them beside you or behind you. Inhale, lengthen a little bit more, and then exhale. If it feels good to do so, you might start to round the spine. Just surrendering to gravity, maybe just letting the head go, if that feels good. And we'll stay for a few breaths. So there's still that action in the lower body, curling toes in towards each other, pressing outer edges of feet down. From that support, just see if you can really surrender through the torso. Relax the face, just let the shoulders relax away from the ears, neck is nice and long. Couple more breaths. And then on your next inhale, just breathe yourself slowly back up to that tall neutral spine if you've come forwards and down. And then switching legs, so bringing the other leg in front, again taking a moment to set up. So shins parallel with front edge of mat, walk feet away from each other, curl toes in, and then actively press outer edges of the feet into the ground. Fingertips beside you. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, mindfully, slowly, leading with the heart, hinging forwards and down. Stay upright if you prefer, if that feels better. everything is optional. And then you may or may not wish to bring the hands or the fingertips in front of you on the ground. Maybe if you're here, inhale, root the sitting bones back and down, send the crown of the head forward, find a bit more length in the spine, and then optional, as you exhale, you might just want to begin to surrender the body to gravity, letting the spine round, letting the head hang. Few breaths. So just being aware throughout our practice, I do usually offer quite a few different options for postures, just always taking the ones that feel most in line with where you're at today, where your energy's at, how you're feeling. Leaving anything that just doesn't feel right. If you ever want to rest at any point, just come into child's pose or a posture that feels restful for you. One more breath. And then let's inhale, walk our hands back in, find length in the spine, nice tall seat. Exhaling here. And then making our way onto our hands and knees. Bringing hands underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips, spreading the fingers nice and wide. So you might want to point the first fingers forward, or you might want to point the index finger directly forwards, play around with turning the fingertips slightly out or turning them to face directly ahead. See what feels better in your shoulders and your arms. Do it a few times, you get more of an idea of what feels more natural, and then choosing the position of your hands accordingly to what feels most natural in your body. Take a deep inhale here, tuck the toes under, and then as you exhale, plug the heels of the hands down, lift the hips up, arriving in our first down dog. And we'll be here for a good few breaths, so do come to child's pose at any point if you want to rest, and then come back into it. You might want to be in stillness in your down dog for the whole time we're here. You might want to take some movement through the body, maybe easing out tension in the body by bending opposite knees as you send opposite heels towards the ground, maybe shaking head yes and no. Might be other movements that feel good for you that you wish to take here. Just go for it. Just really move intuitively if you're moving. Maybe taking a sigh out of your mouth. Just tuning into how your body's feeling really, and just allowing your movement to be inspired by that. Eventually we will arrive in stillness in our down dog. So place a bend in the knees, lift the hips high, lift the heels high, plug the heels of the hands into the ground, draw the forearms in towards each other, let the head be super heavy, head and neck relax. Just see if you can shift your hips a little bit further up and back in space. You're finding a bit more length in the spine. And then stay here or optional, maybe begin to extend the heels down towards the ground, finding more length in the back of the legs. Sending the backs of the knees back in space, engaging front thighs. But do keep a bend in the knees if you feel that when you straighten your legs, your spine begins to round. Really want to favour that length in the spine, that elevation of the hips. Take one more deep breath here. Big exhale, let it go. As you inhale now, travel forwards into a plank, or a half plank is always an option as an alternative, with the knees down and the toes untucked, if you prefer. Exhale, push hands down, lift hips high, downward facing dog. Inhale, again breathe yourself forward into a plank or half plank. Stay for the exhale. Stay for the inhale, resist the ground with the hands, draw the front body in. And then exhale, push hands down, lift hips up and back, downward facing dog. As you inhale, breathe yourself again forwards into your plank. Don't worry, we're not going to hold this time. Exhale, lower knees, untuck toes, and then like a wave, lower your belly, your chest, and then your forehead down to the ground. Inhale, breathe front body up, baby cobra, elbows in, thighs engaged. Exhale, push hands down, tuck toes, lift hips, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath here, deep inhale, push the ground away with the hands. Full exhale, let it go. And then begin to take some small steps towards the front of your mat. Slowly walking the feet towards the hands. When the feet arrive at the top of your mat, just allow, position them about hip width apart, and then just allow the torso to let go over the legs. Relax head and neck, let the arms be heavy. Place a little bend in the knees so your lower back can really spread. Take a few breaths here. Again, you might want to be in stillness, you might move intuitively. Again, just checking in with your body, what does it need? You might want to take hold of opposite elbows and sway from side to side. You might want to shake up the head, you might want to take a sigh out of your mouth. Might be other movements that feel good here. Just stay in the body. And taking a deep inhale. As you exhale, come to stillness if you're moving. Release the elbows. If you have hold of them, just let the arms flop down. Bring your attention to your feet. Find even weight between all four corners of your feet. And then as you inhale, slowly breathing yourself up to stand tall, vertebra by vertebra, just winding your spine up. To stand in Tadasana, head is the last part for you to arrive. And then just take a few moments here. You might want to close the eyes down. You might want to just fix the gaze on one point, just narrowing your attention. Press the feet into the ground. Like you're resisting the ground with the feet. Feel that energy move up the legs, thighs engage, kneecaps lift. Band is active, so there's that slight lifting of the muscles in the pelvic region. At the end of your next exhale, draw the pit of the belly slightly inwards and upwards. And maybe you feel the collarbones lift, crown of head lift a little bit higher. Palms face slightly forwards, nice openness across the chest, across the heart. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, bring the palms together at the heart. Start to move with the breath now. As you inhale, reach the arms up. If your lower back's okay with it, maybe lift the heart, lift the gaze, stay neutral if you prefer. Exhale, fold over the legs, plant hands, bend knees if you need to. Inhale, step back with right foot, bring shin, knee, top of foot down, gaze ahead, shoulders back and down. Retain the breath as you step back into a plank or a half plank. As you exhale, lower the knees, the chest and the chin. Try and keep the seat lifted, try and aim your heart between your thumbs. Inhale, slide forward, baby cobra. Try and use your back strength rather than the arms here. Exhale, push hands down, tuck toes, lift hips, downward facing dog. Inhale to step your left foot, right foot forward, rather. Drop your left knee down, gaze ahead. The foot gets stuck halfway, just give it a hand with the right hand. Exhale, step forward with left foot, fold over legs, relax head and neck. Inhale, press feet down, reach the arms up, lengthen both sides of the body. Exhale, fold over the legs, plant hands down, bend knees if you need to. Inhale to step your left foot back, bring the shin, the knee, the top of the foot down, gaze ahead, shoulders away from ears. Hold breath for a moment as you step back into plank or half plank. Exhale, knees, chest, chin. If this doesn't work for you, lower knees, untuck toes, and then bring the belly, the chest, and the forehead down if that feels more comfortable. Inhale, breathe front body up, baby cobra, thighs engaged. Exhale, push hands down, tuck toes, lift hips, downward facing dog. Inhale to step forward with your left foot, drop your right knee down, gaze ahead. Exhale, step forward with your right foot, fold over legs, relax head and neck. Inhale, press feet down, reach arms up, lengthen. As you exhale, lift the heart a little bit higher as you maybe send the gaze upwards. So you can keep the arms how they are, upper arms in line with the ears, or you can bring the hands onto the low back just to give the back a little bit of support here. Couple more breaths here. With each inhale, press the ground away with the feet, lift the heart a bit higher, and then maybe with each exhale, lean a little bit further back into your back bend. Just being very subtle here, just remembering we're just kind of warming up now. Engage the front thighs, engage the glutes, and really have that sense of broadness across your lower back. So it's an upper back bend, you're not dumping into the lumbar spine. One more deep breath. As you inhale, reach the fingertips back up, come back to that nice tall neutral spine. And then as you exhale, keep reaching up with the fingertips, bend the knees deeply, sink the hips back and down, maybe a little bit more weight into your heels, arriving in Utkatasana chair pose. Gaze straight ahead of you, or maybe slightly upwards. Try and keep that nice little bit of length across the back of the neck. Lovely. Have that sense of slightly drawing the front ribs in towards the back ribs. Find that nice neutral spine. Take one more deep inhale. Reach a bit further with the fingertips. As you exhale, maintain that bend in the knees as you reach forwards and down with a long spine. It's like you're aiming to bring your belly onto your thighs and then taking hold somewhere on the legs. So it could be shins, ankles. I quite like to bring my hands behind grab hold of my calf muscles or the backs of my ankles. But you'll find something that feels nice and natural for you. So you're in a forward bend with the knees bent. So it's like you're really trying to spread your lower back. Let the head hang. And then for your next couple of breaths here, stay here, or if you would like to, maybe begin to push the feet into the ground, lifting the hips, lengthening the backs of the legs, and that might mean the hands come a bit further up the legs. If you'd like to come into more of a forward bend that allows a bit more of a hamstring stretch. If you're in the version that you have straighter legs, just really engage the front thighs. Even weight between front and back edges of feet. One more deep inhale. And then as you exhale, release the hands to the ground. Inhale to step your right foot back, bring shin, knee, top of foot down, press the left foot down, reach the fingertips up. As you exhale, interlace the hands, bring the hands behind the back of the head, just take a moment to send the elbows back in space. As you inhale, lift the heart, slightly lift the face. So you can stay here exactly where you are if you would like to. Exhale, maybe shuffle the left foot forward just by 2 or 3 inches and begin to encourage the hips forwards and down in space. So you get a nice stretch in that right hip flexor. This is uncomfortable for your right knee, then maybe bring a blanket or a cushion underneath the knee, or just fold the outer edge of the mat over so you have a little bit of padding. And then optional, if you would like to, inhale, lift the heart a bit higher, and then exhale, just see if you can melt the head a little bit further back into the hands, coming into a bit more of a back bend. Arriving in your crescent lunge, lovely. Just being very aware of the breath here, always making sure you're somewhere where you can maintain a deep, fluid breath. The minute the breath becomes short and laboured, just taking that as a sign to just ease out a little bit. Inhaling now, press that left foot into the ground, come back to neutral hips, neutral spine. Reach the arms up, bring the hands into prayer. As you exhale, twisting towards the left, hook the right elbow to the outside of the left knee. If this feels uncomfortable, maybe try bringing the right fingertips or hands down on the ground. Reach the left fingertips up instead. It might feel a bit more spacious. Holding for a few breaths. You can keep that right knee down if you prefer. You might want to tuck the right toes in to lift that right knee off the ground. Sending the right heel back in space. Sending the back of that right leg up towards the ceiling. Many options. One more deep inhale. Think about drawing the crown of the head forwards to breathe a bit more length into the spine. Exhale, see if you can peel that left shoulder open a bit more. Just deepening your twist. As you inhale now, press that left foot down. Carefully, slowly untwist. Reach the prayer high. Exhale, lower the hands to frame your left foot. Inhale, step back into plank or half plank. Exhale, knees, chest, chin, or lower knees and tuck toes, and then bring the belly, the chest, and the forehead down. As you inhale, breathe from body up into baby cobra, and then send the gaze over your left shoulder as you float the left leg off the ground. Exhale, replace left leg to ground, tap forehead to ground. Inhale, breathe front body up, gaze over your right shoulder as you float the right leg off the ground. Moving with the breath, exhale, replace the right leg, tap forehead to ground. Inhale, breathe both legs up off the ground, breathe the chest up off the ground. As you exhale, flex the feet, bring the toes down, press the hands down, lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale to step your right foot forward. Keep your left knee off the ground now if you can for runner's lunge. Strong left leg. Exhale, step left foot forward, fold over legs, relax head and neck. Inhale, press feet down, reach arms up, lengthen. Exhale, fold over the legs, plant the hands down. Inhale, step your left foot back, bring shin, knee, top of foot down, press the right foot down, reach the fingertips up towards the ceiling, lengthen the sides of the body, lengthen the arms. As you exhale, interlace the hands, but take the less habitual interlace, the kind of awkward feeling one. And then bring the palms of the hands to the back of the head. Take a moment to send the elbows away from each other and back in space. As you inhale, lift the heart, lift the face. Stay here or optional. As you exhale, shuffle that right foot forward slightly, ease the hips forwards and down. Finding that opening in your left hip flexor, but have that sense of squeezing the inner thighs slightly in towards each other, so you're not just collapsing here. Bring padding under that left knee if it's helpful. Couple more breaths. If you would like to, if your low back feels okay with it, maybe with each inhale, now you lift the heart a bit higher. And with each exhale, maybe you send the back of the head back into the hands, maybe send the crown of the head a little bit further back in space. Same deep breath. Keep the breath long. As you inhale, press the ground away with your right foot. Bring the hips back to neutral, spine back to neutral. Reach the fingertips up, bring the palms together in prayer. And then exhale, twist towards the right, hook left elbow to outside of right knee, or bring left fingertips or hands to the ground, reaching right fingertips up towards the ceiling. You can keep that left knee down if you prefer. You might tip left toes under and lift the left knee off the ground, sending that left heel dynamically back in space. Come back to the breath, couple more breaths. Inhale, send the crown of the head forward, create more length. Exhale, maybe twisting a bit deeper. The palms are together, have that sense of pressing the right palm into the left, peeling that right shoulder open. As you inhale now, press the right foot down, untwist slowly with control, reach the fingertips up. Exhale, bring the hands down to frame your right foot. Inhale, step back into plank or half plank. Exhale, knees, chest, chin, or lower knees in, tuck toes, and then bring belly, chest, and forehead down. And then when you arrive, just cactus the arms on the ground, so elbows in line with shoulders, forearms parallel, fingertips pointing forwards. As you inhale, press the hands into the ground, breathe yourself up into cobra variation. Only lengthen the arms as much as is comfortable. Exhale like a wave, lower belly, chest, and forehead down. Bring the forearms back to the ground. 2 more like that, use your breath. Inhale, breathe yourself up to push the ground away. Exhale, breathe yourself down. Forehead rest down, forearms rest down. 1 more with your breath. Inhaling and exhaling, lowering down. As you inhale, bring the hands underneath the shoulders, draw the elbows in, tuck the toes under. Exhale, push the ground away, lift the hips high. Downward facing dog. Inhale to step your left foot forward. Keep your right knee lifted now if you can. Runner's lunge, strong right leg. Exhale, step right foot forward. Fold over legs, relax head and neck. Inhale, press feet down, reach arms up, lengthen. Exhale, bring the palms together at the heart. Just take a moment, take a breath. Feel that connection between feet and ground. Smooth out and slow down the breath a little. And then from here, for this next little sequence, it might be useful to have, if you have a yoga brick like this, maybe having that at the front of your mat. Some of you might prefer not to use it. If you don't have one, that's fine. Maybe just use a chunky book. And it's not 100% necessary, it just might be useful. So just popping that just in front of your mat if you do have one. Take a breath, come back to Tadasana Mountain Pose. And then let's continue arm movement. Inhale, reach the arms up, lift heart, lift gaze. Exhale, fold over the legs, plant hands down. Inhale, big step back with the right foot, land on the ball of the foot, lift the right heel, squeezing the thighs in and reach the fingertips up towards the ceiling, arriving in your high lunge. Fix the gaze on one point, either ahead of you or between the fingertips towards the ceiling, whatever feels most comfortable and natural. And then bringing your attention to that right leg, the right foot. Maybe feel that you can really lift that right heel up and shoot it back in space. Just bring a little bit more energy into that right leg. Think about reaching the fingertips high, but have softness in the shoulders and the shoulder blades. Plenty of space for the neck. One more deep inhale. As you exhale, lower the elbows to shoulder height. Think about rounding the upper back, shoulder blades parting, and then thread your right arm underneath your left arm. Take hold of opposite shoulders or wrap into eagle arms if that's comfortable for your shoulders. And then we're going to move with our breath. As you inhale, arch back, lift the heart. If you have your eagle arms, send the elbows away, reach the fingertips back. As you exhale, rounding the back, draw the elbows in if you have your eagle arms, and let the head release. Couple more like that. Inhale with your breath, arching back. Exhale with your breath, rounding out, making yourself small. One more like that. Inhaling. Movement follows breath. And exhaling. So this time, as you inhale, bringing yourself back up, unravel the arms on your way up, and then reach the arms out into a T shape as you come to a neutral tall spine. As you exhale, begin to bring your weight forward onto your left foot, active banders, fix the gaze ahead of you. And then as you inhale, press the ground away with your left foot, float your right heel up and back in space. As you ease the heart forwards, keep reaching the fingertips out away from each other. Coming into Warrior 3 variation. Try and really lengthen both legs, engage the thigh muscle of that left leg, of that standing leg. Flex the right foot and see if you can dial the toes a little bit more towards the ground. Squaring the hips. One more deep inhale. As you exhale now, send the gaze down. Bring the left hand down. So this is where the prop is useful, for me at least. You can have your hand on the prop or on the ground if you prefer. And just bring it a little bit further out towards the left, so it's not directly in line with that left foot. This is going to be a bit more helpful for your balance. So a few options here. You can bring that right hand rather on your hip. You can extend the right arm alongside the right side of the body. You might begin to peel your right to open, opening the chest towards the right. And then maybe optional reaching the right fingertips towards the ceiling, coming into your half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. Maybe even sending the gaze up towards that right thumb. Whichever option feels best for you today. Think about expansion though. Lengthen the arms, lengthen the legs. One more deep inhale. As you exhale, send the gaze down. If it's not already, begin to bend your left knee. As you inhale, float your right foot back, arriving in your Warrior 2. And then let's just settle here for a few breaths. Left knee above left ankle. Have that sense of slightly peeling that left knee open to the left side. Nice openness in that left inner hip. Gaze is fixed towards or beyond. Left middle finger. Same deep breath. Breathing into front, back and sides of the body. Exhale, feel the ribs drawing in. Letting go. And then as we inhale, circling the arms down to frame the left foot. Spin onto the ball of the right foot, arriving in runner's lunge. Inhale to step back into plank or half plank. Exhale, your choice, chaturanga if you prefer now, or knees, chest, chin. Inhale, upward facing dog if you prefer, or cobra. exhale, downward facing dog. As you inhale, raise your right leg up towards the ceiling. Lead with your inner heel, so your hips are square. Exhale, step the right foot between the hands and lower your left knee down and tuck left toes. Inhale, press right foot into the ground, come up to a tall, neutral spine, and then interlace the hands. Bring the hands onto the right thigh. So bring padding onto that left knee if the floor's a bit hard, if that left knee feels a bit uncomfortable. So I'm going to talk you through a bunch of options. So just staying at a point that you want to feel sensation in the body, but you want to maintain that deep breath. So from here, pushing the hands into that right thigh, lift the heart, maybe lift the face, draw the shoulders back. Stay here, or maybe shuffle the right foot forward a little bit more and begin to, again, ease the hips forwards and down in space. Maybe pushing the hands into the thigh, coming a little bit more into your back bend, sending the crown of the head back in space, only if it's comfortable. And then either stay here or maybe begin to bend your left knee, kicking your left heel in towards you. Hopefully it won't give you cramp like it does me. And then maybe reaching your left hand back, maybe taking hold of the left foot. So if you have the left foot, maybe using that left hand to invite the foot a little bit further in towards you. And maybe sliding the foot into the elbow crease. Inviting a little bit further in, play around with it if you're here. It's quite challenging for the balance. Lovely. Let's take another deep breath together. If you have hold of that left foot, on an exhale, release it, bring the shin back down. Bring the hands down now to frame your right foot. Inhale, tuck left toes under, lift that left knee back up, coming into your runner's lunge. Exhale, step left foot forward, soften over legs, relax head and neck. Inhale, press feet down, reach arms up, lengthen. Exhale, fold over the legs, plant the hands down. As you inhale, big step back with your left foot, land on the ball of the foot, heel is lifted, squeezing the thighs towards each other, reach the fingertips up into your high lunge. Fix the gaze ahead of you or between the fingers towards the ceiling. Have that sense of lifting that left heel high and shooting it back in space. Energizing through your left leg, lovely. Reaching the fingertips up, but softening the shoulders. Think about bringing the upper arms in line with the ears. Deep bend in right knee, knee over ankle. One more deep inhale. Exhale to lower the elbows to shoulder height. Dome your upper back and then thread your left arm underneath the right. Take hold of opposite shoulders or wrap into eagle arms. And then moving with the breath, inhale, lift the heart as you arch back. If you have eagle arms, lift the elbows away from the face. Reach the fingertips back. Exhale, doming forwards, rounding the spine. If you're in eagle arms, really draw the elbows in towards the front body. Two more with your breath. Inhale, breathe yourself up and back. Exhale, breathe yourself forwards and down. Make yourself small, rounding out. One more. Move with your breath. Inhale. Beautiful. Exhale. With your next inhale, breathe yourself back up to a neutral spine. Unravel the arms on the way up. Reach the arms out into a T shape. Exhale, bring your weight forwards onto your right foot. Activate banders, fix the gaze ahead of you. And then as you inhale, press the ground away with your right foot. Extend your right leg, floating your left heel up and back behind you. Easing the heart forwards, try and gaze ahead rather than down, if that's comfortable. Fix the gaze on one spot. Warrior 3 variation. Reaching the fingertips out away from you. I see birds made an appearance. Flexing left foot, dialing left toes directly towards the ground. One more deep inhale. And then gazing downwards as you exhale, lower that right hand down onto ground or onto your prop. Have the hand or the prop just a little bit towards the left compared to that right foot. Should help with the balance. And then take whichever option feels best for you today. You can have left hand on the hip, you can extend the arm alongside the body. You might peel that left hip open, opening the hips and the chest towards the left side of the room. Maybe reach the left fingertips up, maybe send gaze towards left thumb. Be somewhere where you feel a little bit challenged, but you can still maintain your deep breath. One more deep inhale. As you exhale, send the gaze to the ground. If it's not already, begin to bend your right knee. As you inhale, float your left leg back, arriving in your warrior two. Bend that right knee deeply, slightly sending the right knee out towards the right side. Pressing the outer edge of that left foot down. Straight line of energy between the fingertips. Sending the gaze towards or beyond right middle finger, and then just breathing your breath. Deep inhales, full exhales. As we inhale, circling the arms down to frame your right foot, spin onto the ball of the left foot, arriving in runner's lunge. Step back into plank, and then exhale, chaturanga or knees, chest, chin, your choice. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, push hands down, lift hips high, downward facing dog. As you inhale, breathe your left leg up towards the ceiling, lengthen the back of that leg. Exhale, step left foot between the hands, drop your right knee down and tuck right toes. As you inhale, press the left foot into the ground to bring yourself up to tall, neutral spine. Interlace the hands, take the opposite interlace, so the one that feels a bit weird, and then bring the hands onto your left thigh. Bring some padding underneath that right knee if the knee feels a bit sensitive on the floor, if your floor's quite hard. And then we can stay exactly how we are. So I'm going to talk you through some options. Just stop when you feel like you would like to stop. Press the hands into the thigh. Lift the heart, lift the face. And then maybe creep the left foot forwards by 2-3 inches. Ease the hips forwards and down. Have that sense of slightly squeezing inner thighs in towards each other. Stay here, or maybe press the hands into the thigh again. Lift the heart, send the crown of the head a little bit further back in space. Stay here, or maybe bend that right knee, beginning to invite the right heel in towards you. Stay here, or maybe reach back with the right hand, taking hold of the instep of the foot, and then playing around if you're here, playing around with just easing that heel a bit closer in, maybe sliding the foot into the elbow crease. Any other variations that you like to take as well, go for it. Same deep breath, one more breath. And then as you exhale, release the foot, release the shin down if you have it. Bring the hands to frame your left foot. Come back into your runner's lunge. As you inhale, lift that right knee off the ground. Strong right leg. As you exhale, step the right foot forward, soften over legs, relax head and neck. Inhale, press feet down, reach arms up, lengthen. Exhale, bring the palms together at the heart, and just again take a moment or two to reconnect with yourself. Smooth out and steady the breath. Maybe close the eyes down. Bring your attention again back to your heart center. See if you can drop the seat of your perception down from the mind into the heart. Feel the breath in the space. Maybe you can feel the beat of your heart against your thumbs, the rise and fall of your chest as you inhale and exhale. And then from here, if you've closed the eyes down, just blink them gently open. Just position the feet now so they're about hip width apart. They feel quite comfortably placed. You feel quite stable. So you've probably noticed by now, because I've been doing a little bit of balancing, probably noticed by now, if your balance is a little bit challenged today, it does tend to vary from day to day. If your balance is quite challenged for the next posture, which is a balancing posture, you might want to have a wall or a surface just to, you know, steady yourself and place your fingertips on it to your right. That's optional, but it might be useful if you're feeling a little bit challenged in your balances today. And then we're going to bring the hands down just beside us. Turn the left palm to face out now, so you're turning the thumb to point back, the little finger to point forwards. Active banders, gaze fixed ahead, calm, steady breath. Begin to bring your weight over onto your right foot. And then as you inhale, bend that left knee, float the instep of the foot into your left hand. And then just take a moment. So at this point, you might want to use the wall. Just take a moment to encourage that left knee back in towards the right knee and draw the front ribs in so you're nice and neutral. And then either fingertips on wall or inhale, reach the right fingertips up, right palm faces forwards. And then as you exhale, first of all, begin to kick that left foot into the hand. Just make sure the left knee doesn't splay out to the side. Keep encouraging it back into the midline. And then maybe begin to send the heart forwards. Try and keep the gaze lifted. There's a bit of a back bend. Reaching the fingertips forwards in space. Or you can have the fingertips against the wall. Coming into your dancer. Beautiful. Everyone, couple more breaths. Really kick that right hand right foot into the hand. Left foot even. God. Kick the toes high. One more deep inhale. And then exhale, slowly reversing that action, slowly, slowly, and then replace the left foot down. So either stand in stillness for a moment, maybe soften the knees, really feel that connection between the feet and the ground. You might want to take some movement through the body, maybe a sigh, letting it go, whatever feels good. Just coming back to that nice calm, grounded space. Arriving back in stillness. Again, fix the gaze, preparing. Have a wall to your left now, if the wall was helpful for the first side. Fix the gaze, active banders. Begin to bring your weight over onto your left leg. Turn the right palm to face out. Inhale, float the instep of the right foot into your right palm. And then again, take a moment to draw your right knee in towards the left, nip the front ribs in. Left fingertips on the wall, or inhale, reach the left fingertips up, turn palm to face forwards. Exhale, kick the foot into the hand first, lift the toes high, and then begin to ease the heart forward, keep the gaze lifted. Left fingertips on the wall, or reaching forward with the left fingertips. Make sure you don't feel as though that right knee is splaying out to the side, invite it back into the midline. One more deep breath here. Beautiful. And then exhale, slowly, carefully, just reversing that action, replace that right foot back down. Again, do what you need to do here to ground yourself. Take a few breaths. Be in stillness or move. Maybe take a sigh out of your mouth. Lovely, and then coming back to our Tadasana, mountain pose, top of our mats. Arms together at the heart. Take a breath. And then inhaling, reaching the arms up, lift the heart, lift the gaze. Exhale, fold over the legs, plant the hands down. As you inhale, step back into a downward facing dog. Pause here for a few breaths. Or move through a half vinyasa if you're feeling super energetic. Or come to a child's pose if you feel like you need something a bit more restful, your choice. Moving intuitively or coming to stillness if that feels better today. Just use it as an opportunity to reconnect with your breath, with yourself. Just another 2 breaths wherever we are. And then if you're in down dog, just releasing the knees to the ground. So staying where you are if you're in child's pose, just going to adjust slightly. So So untuck the toes if the toes are tucked under. Bring the feet a little bit closer in towards each other. Bring the knees a little bit wider than hip width. And then just encourage the hips a little bit back in space. So not like back to a child's pose, but just a little bit behind the line of the knees. Hands about shoulder width apart. And then just begin to walk or slide your fingertips forwards, lowering your heart towards your mat. So coming into puppy stretch. And then there's a few options here. So you might bring the forehead to the ground, you might want a cushion underneath the forehead or some kind of item of support. You might prefer to place the chin on the ground, gazing ahead. The arms can be long, elbows off the ground. Or you might prefer to bring the elbows to the ground, the forearms to the ground. So just playing around, see what feels best for you in your body today. And then when you found that version that works best for you, just committing to stillness for a few deep breaths. Sending your inhales into your upper back, into the space between the shoulder blades. And with each exhale, just let your heart melt down. So we actually have 40,000 neurons in the heart. It has its own little nervous system. It can be used as an organ of perception. Just we're very much conditioned to lead from our minds. Just really trying to stay tuned into that heart energy. One more breath. And then from here, just walking the hands back underneath the shoulders and then back in, coming to sit on our heels. And then just flopping over, so it's like we're going to flop the hips over just to land to our right. And then we're going to swing that left leg over the right leg. The left foot's going to arrive on the ground to the outside of our right knee. And if we've arrived in this posture and we feel like we're really leaning over onto one side or we just feel a bit unstable, then try extending that right leg out in front of you instead. Might feel a little bit more stable. From here, bring the left fingertips on the ground behind you. Inhale, reach the right fingertips up, lengthen. And then exhale, twist towards the left, either hugging that left knee in towards us or hooking our elbow to the outside of the knee. Sending the gaze over left shoulder or just turning the face in that direction, softening the eyes closed. Coming back to the breath, inhale, pressing sitting bones down, breathing the spine a little bit longer. Exhale, really relax the chest. Make the upper body soft, so maybe you can spiral a little bit deeper into your twists. Couple more breaths. And then as you inhale, just releasing, spinning the chest forwards. Just take a moment to lean back onto the hands. Bring the hands behind you, just lean the weight back into the hands, and then just simply switching the legs. So you're going to bring now that left leg underneath you, left knee points forward, left heel to outside of right hip, or extend the leg out in front of you if that feels better. Right sole of foot plants into the ground to the outside of that left knee. Bring right fingertips behind you on the ground. Inhale, reach left fingertips up, lengthen. And then exhale, twist towards the right, hug that right knee in towards you or hook elbow to outside of knee. Send the gaze over the right shoulder or just turn the face to that direction and close the eyes down. Inhale, sending the heart forwards and up. Exhale, maybe twisting a little bit deeper. Leading with the breath. One more deep breath here. And then on an inhale, untwisting. And then let's come down to lie on our backs, but just bring, you might want an item of support, in which case just bring something that looks like this, a block, or a couple of cushions maybe. Maybe just beside the mat, about halfway down, so it's easy to reach, so you don't have to kind of get back up from your lying down posture. You might not need this, I'm going to give you a bunch of options as usual. It depends what option you're going to take. So, we're all going to do the same thing first. So we're going to, lying on our backs, we're going to walk our heels in towards our hips. Feet are about hip width apart. You want to feel as though the outer edges of feet are parallel. Just let the arms be natural. Let them just rest out beside the body. Turn palms to face up. Relax the fingers. Bring your attention to your feet. Press evenly down through all four corners of the feet. And then on our next inhale, we're going to press the ground away with the feet, slowly lifting the hips, middle back, upper back, up off the ground. And then checking in with the feet. Make sure there's even weight between inner and outer edges of the feet. You can stay here. We'll be here about another 5 breaths, or interlace the fingers behind you, lengthen the arms and walk the shoulder blades in towards each other so you have a little bit more lift through the heart. Really find that balance in the posture between effort and softness. Back body is supporting you. There's a little bit of energy and effort in the hamstrings and the glutes. See if you can be really soft in the heart, in the front body, and send that breath, again sending that breath into your heart space. 2 more breaths. And then release the interlace. Part the arms, shoulder blades part. As you exhale, lower the upper, middle and lower back down. Take a breath, take a moment. And then just tuning in with your energy levels today. How are you feeling? What do you need? 3 options for our second back bend, so you can repeat what we just did. You can repeat bridge pose. I'll talk you through some others. If you want to do a full wheel, you know what that is and you know what you're doing, then just go for it. If you want a slightly more restorative, supported back bend for your second back bend, then pressing the feet into the ground, lifting the hips, and then sliding that item of support, so your brick or a couple of cushions underneath your low back, your sacrum, and then just resting your low back on that support. So just let that take about 50% of your weight. Arms resting out beside you. Should feel really nice and supported. If you'd like to take a full wheel, I'll talk you through. So again, just go for it if you know what you're doing. So we're coming into that bridge pose, pressing the feet down, lifting the hips up nice and high. And then from here, we're bringing our hands underneath our shoulders. The fingertips point slightly out. We want to stop the elbows from slaying out to the side. And then from here, we press the feet down, press the hands down, come onto the crown of the head, take a breath or 2, and then press the ground away, lifting the hips, lifting the heart. And if you're in your wheel, you're really pressing the feet into the ground to send the heart towards the back of your mat. Beautiful, everyone. One more deep inhale. And then exhale. If you're in your wheel, just tucking your chin, lowering down onto the back of the head, carefully coming down. If you have support underneath, you just carefully remove that, and then lowering upper, middle, lower back down. Keep the knees bent, keep the soles of the feet on the ground, and then just walk the feet out towards the outer edges of your mat, so a little bit wider than hip width. You might want to reach the arms out in a T shape now if that feels good, or cactus the arms, do whatever feels good. Deep inhale here. As you exhale, just let the knees flop over to your left. You might want to send the gaze towards the right. Inhale, knees back to center, gaze back to ceiling. Exhale, knees flop over to the right, gaze towards the left. So keep going, moving with the breath. Inhale back to center. Exhale, knees to the side, gaze to the opposite direction. A few more rounds. connecting movement to breath. Slowing the breath down though, so like we did at the start, make the breath really long and deep and just let the movement be really slow. The movement follow the breath. And then after your next movement of your knees to the right, I think, to the right second, inhale, bring the knees back to center, give yourself a hug, hug the knees in, squeeze the knees in, broaden the lower back. Might want to introduce a bit of movement, you might want to be in stillness, whatever feels good, be intuitive with your movement. If it feels comfortable for your spine now, as you inhale, you're going to rock back and the length of the spine. Exhale, rocking up. Inhale, rocking back. Exhale, rocking up a few times. If that doesn't feel great, just rock the knees from side to side or circle the knees. Eventually, we're going to rock up to sit or flop over onto one side and just make our way up to sit. And then final posture. So we're going to be here for a good 10 deep, slow breaths. So just really ease yourself into this next posture slowly. We've done quite a lot of back bending, so just want to be really slow as we enter this posture. Sending the legs out in front of us. Send the heels away. Curl the toes in. Really press the sitting bones into the ground. Lift the crown of the head. Roll shoulders back and down. And I don't think this is comfortable for anyone, but if it feels really, really uncomfortable, you feel like you're rounding the spine and you're having to really over-engage everything, then maybe bring something small just underneath the sitting bones to allow for a bit more elevation. And then take a deep inhale, lift the crown of the head. As you exhale, just without grasping for anything, just easing the heart forward, keep the shoulders back and down. And then you can keep the hands either side of the legs if you prefer, maybe now, maybe halfway through the posture. You might want to take hold of the shins, ankles, big toes, sides of feet, whatever feels good. Maybe close the eyes down and then reconnect with your breath. With each inhale, we're rooting sitting bones down, breathing a bit more length into the spine. With each exhale, we're just letting go. And as we let go, maybe we come a little bit further forwards and down over the legs. Maybe we don't. Maybe we stay in stillness. But just really gather your attention inwards now. About another 5 breaths. Inhaling fully. And exhaling completely. Really let go at the end of this next exhale. That might mean just letting the legs be really soft. Letting the head hang. And then on your next inhale, just breathe yourself back up to a tall, neutral spine. So this is probably going to sound quite controversial, but we're not going to have Shavasana yet. We're going to actually basically have like a really, really, really long Shavasana with a sound bath. So we're going to go straight to meditation. And then we're going to have our little interval. So we'll be here for about 10 minutes-ish. So just make sure you're in a seat that feels very comfortable and supported. So it could be a cross-legged seat or a variation of that, half lotus if that's comfortable for you. You might want to bring some support underneath you. What you don't want is the knees up here, the knees higher than the hips, because then you're really going to have to engage to maintain that. You might prefer to be kneeling. You might want to kind of straddle the bolster. This is quite a nice one. Really allows for a nice tall spine. You might want to be in a chair. So just take a, I'll give you another 30 seconds or so, so no rush, just find that nice, comfortable seat. Nice alert spine. Have a fidget. Maybe roll the shoulders up and back a couple of times. Anything else that feels good to help you settle. And really have that sense of lifting the crown of the head, alertness in the spine, but again softness in the shoulders, neck is long. Hands can rest in a way that just feels good and natural, so then palms might be face down or up. There might be a mudra that you would really like to take that feels appropriate. And there's a very slight tucking of the chin and drawing the back of the head back in space. The back of the neck is nice and long, head stacked directly above the spine. And then finally, if it's comfortable for you to do so, just soften the eyes closed, come a bit deeper inwards. If closing your eyes doesn't feel great, have them open, but see if you can fix your gaze on one point, just ahead of you and slightly downwards, so you're still narrowing your attention. And just bringing your attention to what you can hear. Just letting the sounds come to you, again not grasping for any sounds, not pushing any of them away. Just letting your attention move from sound to sound. Noticing what is distant and what is near. And see if you can listen to your own breath. See if you can hear the sound of your own breath. And then begin to really feel into the inner vibrations of your breath. Notice where you really prominently feel the breath. Noticing if there's any parts of you that the breath gets stuck in, feels a bit stuck. And then just bringing one hand onto the very centre of the chest, the other hand on top. And just dropping, again, the seat of your attention down into your heart space. Concentrate your breath into the space and just feel that movement of your hands. As you inhale, hands moving out. As you exhale, the hands move back in. Keeping your attention here, so for the next part of the meditation, I'm going to introduce a little bit of voice work. Don't worry, you're all on mute, I think. If you're not, I'll come mute you, don't worry. So we're going to chant the mantra, the bija mantra that's associated with our heart chakra that is thought to activate the energy of this chakra. So bija means seed, so it's a seed sound, it's a single syllable sound. And a mantra is a set of words or a word or a a sound that has the potential to facilitate transformation. And there's a bit of movement that goes with the chant. As we inhale, we'll reach the arms out, open across the heart, and then as you exhale, you chant yum, yum, yum. Drawing the hands back in at the end of the chant, your hands land back on the heart. Inhaling deeply. Gathering that energy back in. We'll go back another 10 times. I'm going to stop because my voice sounds terrible after all the talking. It doesn't usually sound that great anyway. Just really focus on your sound of your voice, the movement of your hands moving through your energy field, drawing that in towards you. You might want to play around with the pitch of your voice, so that you find a note that you really feel in your heart, really resonates in that part of you. Taking another 2 or 3 chants. Keep all your attention on the sensations and the movement. Try to keep the mind out of it as much as possible. And then at the end of your next yum, just bring your hands again to rest on the heart, drop your attention down. And just feel what's there, feel into that space, breathe your breath. And then from this heart space, just see if anything arises that you would like to release, you would like to let go of. And just try not to overthink it, just see what comes up. It might be nothing. And then we're going to create a lotus mudra with our hands. So we're going to bring our little finger and the outer edge of the hand to touch. We're going to bring the thumb and the inner edge of the hand to touch. The 3 fingers in between are going to be nice and open and spread wide. We're creating a lotus. And then we're going to bring our thumbs onto our sternum, very centre of the chest. And the lotus mudra is a symbol of hope, moving from darkness into the light. Breathing, another couple of minutes, just breathing here, keeping your attention at the heart. If you would like to introduce a visualization, if it's a bit too much going on, then don't worry, just keep breathing your breath. If you would like to perhaps visualize beautiful cleansing light moving in through your hands as you inhale, in through your hands, in through your heart, breathing that in through your heart. Cleansing light moving through your body, and as you exhale, Maybe exhaling out of the mouth or the nose, just releasing the energy of what you would like to let go of. Breathing in, beautiful cleansing light, in through the heart, in through your lotus, into the body. Exhale, releasing what you would like to let go of. A few more breaths. I don't know if the visualization is a bit too much. Just opting out. Final deep inhale. And then exhale, bring the palms together. Anjali Mudra, bow the head down to the heart. Inhale, lift chin. And blink the eyes open.